First off, man, appreciate you coming on. Um, you know, and I've said this to a couple student athletes before. Dude, you're one of those names. I have been trying to reach out to you for a while.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I get it. Like coaches' emails kind of get lost and all that jazz. But I'm glad, obviously, we were able to kind of hook this thing up and get talking to you, man. Because first off, again, also too though, dude, your last name is like the coolest last name ever. Do people call you Novak or did they just call you Liam or what?
On man, we have like a lot of guys. So there was already a couple other Liams. So yeah, sometimes coaches call me Novak or stuff like that. But yeah, so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Have you ever heard of like Viva La Bam?
No, I haven't.
No, it's a TV show like way back in the day, man. Geez, you make me feel old. But um, there's a character, there's a guy on there. His name's Brandon Novak, and like
Hmm.
Novak is just like the craziest dude ever. Um, but he's like everybody loves him. Everybody loves Novak. So like when I see that last name, I'm like, man, dude, you're lucky as heck, man, because that's a cool last name to have. Um, yeah, man. So just to kind of get to know you a little bit more, because obviously just running is what I see. So, what are
Hmm.
some like hobbies, kind of like outside the sport that you kind of do?
Yeah, I mean, just like in general, just like hanging out with my friends, play like golf, pickleball, stuff like that. Going to the pool.
Yeah, dude, pickleball seems to. I've heard that answer a couple times. I've never played pickleball.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, but it's popular. It's really popular. Everybody's saying pickleball.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty easy to pick up. Like you can get pretty good at it pretty quick.
it seems pretty intense though. It seems
Yeah,
hard.
it gets intense at points. Yeah, definitely competitive side takes over.
I can only imagine. How'd you get into running in the first place then?
So yeah, I played like football, like tackle when I was younger, when I was like 9, and there was some kid on my team who was like he was the fastest kid on the team. I think my dad was talking to his dad or something, and he was like, "Yeah, he runs track for like this club team called the Greenville Jets." So I joined like an AAU club track team when I was like 9, and then kind of just took off from there.
Okay. Wow. Hmm. I don't think we've ever had somebody from football convert to cross country or track.
Yeah.
Usually you hear from like soccer, you even
Well,
had a
yeah,
couple basketball players.
I played
Yeah.
like basketball, soccer, swimming, like
Yeah.
a lot of sports when I was younger, but just ended up with track. Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, that's pretty cool. Um, I want to talk. We're gonna go through everything. So, and I'm gonna ask you some questions here.
Mm,
But we'll start with cross country. Last season, um, you open up eye opener with 1708, and you get down to 1556 at Starlight.
hmm.
Uh, that is crazy good. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, to open up at 1706 or 1708, and then obviously Starlight is still kind of early in the season, but not
It
ish.
was pushed back way later last year
Yeah, it
because
was
the
pushed.
hurricane.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It was pushed back. Did you? I guess because you can kind of see it like in summer training a bit, where like things are kind of picking up or getting faster,
Hmm.
even during the season, like workouts. Did you notice anything different was kind of happening to run that time, or was that like just a complete shock?
I mean, it definitely was like I didn't think I was going to run that fast on that day, but like in general with like our coaches and the way we train, like we train to peak later season. Like we're not really worried about like if we don't run a crazy fast time at eye opener or a super early meet, that's not the biggest of our worries. But yeah, so I wouldn't say it was like a huge surprise that I like ran that fast, but because I like had a small like injury for like I was out for like 8 days maybe, and then we had county like, and I was off like 5 days of running after that, and then Starlet was the week after. So to run that time then, yeah, I was surprised, but that I mean sub 16 was my goal for the season, so yeah.
I mean, hey, there you go, you got it. It's better than me. I always wanted sub 16. It's like that's
Mhm.
like such like a goal to have, like to break 16. And it kind of puts you on like a new level. I ran 16:13 in high school, so close, but not quite there. Okay, so obviously Starlight is big,
Mhm.
and obviously with the hurricane, it kind of it. I don't say it shooed some teams away, but obviously some teams didn't make it out there just because it was so close to, state quals and states, and obviously glad you guys were able to go. Um, Even that with that being said, I mean Starlight is still it's under the lights. It's a night. It's a great night race, and there was still a lot of competition there this year. Even with that being said, when you're running that race in particular, um, was there anything that was like different about it? Like you went through the first mile quick, and it just was like, oh snap, like something's happening, or what?
I mean, I didn't really know like because I could tell from like the people I was around, I was running pretty quick, but I had no idea like where I was at, like what pace I was going. I don't remember hearing any splits because like I don't race with we don't race with a watch, which I've come to love because it makes you feel like in the race and like with the crowd at Starlight especially and just all the people, the lights, the music and everything. It like makes you like super locked into the environment and just focus on the race. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Is that like a is that like a team thing that you guys don't race with watches,
Yeah,
or is that
yeah.
just like
It's a team
it's a
thing. We
team?
don't race with watches. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. I was telling my daughter, I told her today we did a small kind of workout, and I was like, dude, just take off the watch. Like,
Hmm.
I'll manage it and everything. It's like put yourself in like in the workout, in the reps and whatnot. So no, that's kudos to you guys, man. That's the first I've heard. I think from it just being like a team thing of like no
Hmm.
watches. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, so you mentioned like you're kind of like locked in, and you understand like the feeling and all that stuff that going on. Do you hear? I know you said you don't hear splits, but do you hear like your coaches or your parents or anybody kind of like yelling at you, or no?
Yeah. I can usually hear like my coaches, but like telling me like what place I'm in or just like to make a move, stuff like that. Yeah. But it's like sometimes you just can't hear anything and sometimes you hear everything. But yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I think like when you look at track, at least for me, like I feel like I notice more in cross country, but then in track, it's like even though there's all these people literally like on top of you watching you and like yelling, I feel like I can't hear a thing. Uh, yeah. Okay. So I want to ask you then, because you got to states
Hmm. Yeah.
1708 Newberry. It's Newberry, so understand it.
Hmm.
Uh, it's gonna run slow. I mean, honestly, I think 1708 on Newberry is probably more like a 1630 at any other course. But obviously, you got to look at like 38th. Um, Anything kind of going on there? Because I mean, obviously, again, you kind of
Yeah.
came off a Starlight and you had momentum, so you would
Hmm.
think you'd almost think it'd be top 10. Was there anything that race just in particular kind of didn't work?
Um, yeah, I mean, it was just like muddy on the day, like that, and then I didn't know it at the time, but like we raced on Thursday, I think, and then on Saturday, I I like got diagnosed with I had pneumonia. So
Wow.
I mean, I'm guessing that played a factor, but I mean, it wasn't it like it was not a good race, but I was like probably 20, 30 seconds back where I should have been. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean okay, kudos to you for even putting the spikes on and getting out there. Because that takes a lot. That takes a lot. And again, from my seat, it's like I don't see that. So thank you for shining light on that one,
Yeah.
of course. Um, and I think even with any like race that doesn't necessarily like go your way, you can always kind of
Hmm.
learn something from it. And Newberry in particular is like obviously state quals is there again this year, so I mean you got to run through it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this question then I may have the answer. I ask this question every single time, because it's like a going poll. I think. So I guess we'll see your your response. Newberry,
Hmm.
yay or nay?
I really like the old course before they changed it. Now, I mean, it's a true cross country course for sure. So I wouldn't say I hate it, but it's not obviously it's not that easy. But I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody everybody seems to strongly dislike it. But it's cool that you mentioned though it is a true cross country course, because I think um I mean, I get it. Everybody wants to run fast times, but when you like
Hmm.
think about like again, true cross country, you think of like, the hills and the trails and the mud and everything in between, not a road race, or a flat fast course by any means. Um, okay. So Newberry were fair.
Mhm.
What about like just in general? Do you have a favorite course in general, or
I
whether it
would
be in state or
say,
out of state?
yeah, it's probably Milliken is like my favorite like cross country course, but like meet wise, like I like Starlight a lot just because like the environment in general. But just based off the course, Milliken for sure.
Yeah, and that's it's crazy because like you look at Eye Opener and like the meet itself is just so big,
Yeah.
and it's so early in the season too, where it's like you almost you want to run really fast there, but at the same time too, it's like you can't just like be like, okay, let's start workouts in July just to run
Mhm.
fast at Eye Opener
Yeah.
to start. Um, and it sucks because it's like that really. I mean, I don't know. Are there any other? Do you know if there are there any other races that are there during the season?
I don't think there's any. I know like for like Dorman and like Spartanburg County is there, and they might have like region. No, I think that they had Spartanburg County championships were there last year. But other
Yeah.
than
See,
that, I don't.
yeah. So lucky. I mean, lucky for them. I mean, because yeah, I think that course is great as far as like I feel like that is a true cross country course,
Mhm. Yeah.
just with the hills and the width of the course being able to you're not like locked in to try and pass anybody. Um. Okay. So okay. Let's go to track. Obviously, track is such a big part in I think cross country. I mean, I really think it is. And he had a pretty good track season. I think
Mhm.
when you look at it, 425 in the full mile, right, and then
It is
nine
1600.
is 16, okay, and then 929 in the 32, and you ran indoor. You ran a little bit of indoor season this year. Curious of like what was the thought behind that? Because not many guys do it, especially South Carolina's.
Yeah, so the club coach I had, I ran a couple meets for with him during indoor, but then the last one I ran was in like February maybe. Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. I think anytime you get opportunity to do indoor, it's like why not?
Hmm.
Obviously, it's not like I know North Carolina. They have a whole indoor season in state meet. Obviously, South Carolina doesn't, and I'm from Florida, so we sure as heck don't have an indoor season. Um, but no, that's cool. That's cool that you even had the opportunity to have some of those races itself. Um, but yeah, man, let's. I guess we'll start even just with like an event. Do you feel more confident in one or the other, whether it be the mile or the 2 mile?
I would say before last year, definitely the mile, but after this year, I think I feel more confident in the 2 mile. But the mile just seems like a lot more simple, like 4 laps. Don't have to do a lot of thinking. But I really wouldn't. I really don't know what I'm more comfortable in. I would say I like to race both as much as possible.
That's it's funny you mentioned it. Not a lot of thinking. It goes by so quick. It goes
Hmm.
by so quick. You're really just kind of running on instincts alone, and what to do in situations. But I mean, it's crazy because you look at the times. I mean, I feel like just, again from an outsider, like I think the 525 looks nicer than the 929. I mean, 929, you're almost there. If you can get to like that 920 range, lower 920s,
Hmm.
then it's like, okay, that looks nicer. And then it's like, well, drop 5 seconds and 420 looks nice too. And you ran that 425 at running lane.
Yeah.
Was running lane always on the calendar for you for the season? Or is like you wanted to go out there? I've heard a lot of really good things about running lane.
Yeah, it was definitely on the calendar for the whole season. Because even like when I decided to race 2 mile at state and stuff like that, I knew, and I my PR on the mile was only like 4:30 before then. I knew I was gonna be able to run something faster running lane. So yeah, I was definitely on the calendar for a while.
No, that's cool. Like I said, I've heard nothing but like really good stuff about it. And it seems like it's definitely more common for guys and gals to go out there.
Hmm.
Which even makes me want to. I mean, I'll take my kids out there. I guess next year, this upcoming year. Um, okay, so again, got to talk about states. I
Hmm.
feel like
Yeah.
states is just like that's like your Achilles heel right now. You gotta just
Hmm.
get through it. 10:17, obviously not the greatest time, but tons of factors that go into that, especially just because the 2 miles always ran. So I've been advocating for push the state meet times back, under the lights for the 2 mile,
Hmm.
Um, do you think that played a factor, like heat or anything, or it's
Um,
just because you came back at running lane and ran great for the mile, so it's not like you peaked early or anything.
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what happened. It's just like it felt like the wheels came off, and it was just like downhill from there. Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, it'd be like that sometimes. I remember I think it was my senior year, my senior year of regionals. So you have to be top four in your district, top four in regionals, and then you go to state. And so I ran the 2 mile there too, and it was like, I was actually probably seated, um, like one or two, going into that, just because some guys kind of take it easy through districts because it's kind of like prelims in a way. And I just completely same thing. I just like I can't even tell you what
Mhm.
happened. It just completely fell apart. I didn't make it out, but yeah, no, that's interesting. Did you have a game plan going into it? Like, did you feel good before it, or was it just like during the race, it just like stuff wasn't clicking?
I felt like I remember like warm up. I felt fine, like felt normal, and then like this never happened to me. Like 20, 30 minutes before the race, when I was like about to go like to check in or whatever, so like super nauseous, and I had to like force myself to throw up a couple times. So that was like that might have thrown me off a bit. I don't know, but
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I would think so. That'd be kind of intimidating for sure. Um, you come back again with running lane. You decide to double. So you do the
mhm.
mile, do the 2 mile. That obviously the 2 mile. Still, like, what was it? Just
Yeah,
it just was too much. Just
yeah. I think yeah, I don't know. And then also at running lane. So on Friday I raced the 2 mile, Saturday two or no Friday 2 mile, Saturday mile, and then Saturday my stomach was hurting the whole day, and then drive back to South Carolina, and I had appendicitis, and I had surgery on Sunday night.
oh my gosh, dude. Talk about adversity.
Hmm.
Like that's crazy. But I mean, I was gonna say that explains a lot, but it's like you PR'd in the mile, man. You killed it. You crushed it. So
Yeah.
it's like only the 2 mile that kind of gets you. But I
Hmm.
mean, again, you learn from it. And I guess when you kind of look at it too, it's like, well, um, hey, yeah, maybe the mile is your event. Maybe the 2 miles just I don't know, not there. Maybe just more training, more tactics. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's definitely curious. It is curious. But when you look at like the whole track season as itself, I mean, hey, you made it to states. That's more than what a lot of guys can say is they even made it. When you look at the season as a whole, do you say it was an accomplishment, or how do you feel about it?
I was definitely sad. I'm proud of it. Like, I mean, a lot of ups and downs, obviously, but overall, I would say it's definitely the best season I've had so far. A lot of couple breakout races for sure, which
Yeah,
is what you need.
yeah, no, and I always like that, because it's like, dude, I mean, you ran fast, you had some good
Hmm.
times, and it's not like you can take that away, especially on the track. I mean, cross country, you could, there's always like, oh, it was a fluke, which is bananas sometimes to me. Oh, he only ran at this or that. It's like, yeah, but he proved himself that like he did it again, or obviously like this, like 4:25 for the 16 is no easy feat there. So I would definitely say it is definitely something to be proud of for sure. Um, Looking at cross country coming up, um, you look at obviously what you did in track, um, translated over to the cross country course. You are ranked 26 individually for all classifications, so that's really great itself. Do you look at rankings at all, or is that something that you just don't even pay attention to?
I mean, look, not really in cross country based off time, just because I mean everybody runs different courses. Some of the courses are, like not like legit cross country courses, obviously. So you can't really just depend. I don't really depend on like looking at rankings that much.
Yeah, it's it's funny because I was talking to a coach a couple weeks ago about rankings, and like there's just so many flaws in them where it's like a lot of the rankings are really just like times being pulled.
Hmm.
And yeah, there is like the whole like, well, what course was it run on, consistency and we had a poll not long ago too on the channel of like what people really want to see. I think consistency or head to head was one of the biggest factors in rankings, and that's something that this season I think the channel's going to do rankings, but we're taking that into account of like what course was actually ran on
Mhm.
and a lot of feedback from the athletes and the coaches to not just push out random rankings on time and yeah the course is all road or something. um, so yeah, no, that's cool. Summer training, I'm assuming, how long did you take for a break from like
I did
track to
2 weeks.
summer? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that is the kind of the going rate. How's the summer training been?
I mean, I did like sort of a slower build, but now we're starting to get like closer to actual races. Starting to run a couple more miles than I was last year a week. So yeah.
Yeah, what again, that's curious too. What do you know kind of roughly how many miles you are? Or like especially in the summertime, like how many you were doing a week or high, low?
I'm hitting 60, but like last year I was hitting like 50, 55. So just put it up a little for this season.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. It's always curious of like of just the growth because obviously you develop as a runner and as a just a person, being able to handle like those kind of miles. How's the team look? Team looks good or good turnouts
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Team's looking very good. You know, we got 4 at 16 flat or under. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how the season plays out for sure.
yeah, that is up there, man, for sure. So I guess when you look at it like that, then is there any goals as far as a team? Like, would you guys consider doing uh Nike cross regionals?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first main goal is to win state because it's state. But then, yeah, after, as long as everything goes to plan, we're planning to go up to NXR.
Wow. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. I think anytime, because it just doesn't, not all the time it kind of aligns with having teams that are kind of built for that. And I mean, there's teams that can go out there and run and have the experience of it, but really compete at a high level. Uh, yeah, dude, I wish you guys the best of luck. Hopefully the season turns out what you guys are planning for. Um, when you kind of compare again, like you talked about last summer to this summer, and obviously the miles are increasing. Have you noticed anything of like the easy runs are easier or quicker, or any kind of inclination that you could kind of open up with a quick time right off the get go, or is there still a lot of development needed?
I mean, I definitely feel more fit than I did last year at this point in the summer. But I mean, nothing drastic. But I mean, we're not really doing any like super hard workouts yet. Eye opener is still like 3 weeks away. So we'll see what we open with. Yeah, but definitely
Yeah.
excited.
So okay, so eye opener is the first race you guys are heading to. So are you opening up? Yep. Yeah, I know it's crazy. There's some meets that are opening up on the 16th, and and it's exciting, dude. I'm pumped. I'm ready for the season to start, and
Mm,
obviously, eye opener is like it's crazy because it's eye opener and it opens up the season. It's like the mecca of starting off South Carolina cross country season. Yeah, man. One last thing I kind of started doing, and I wish I kind of did this earlier, but obviously accomplished runners yourself, you definitely, I promise you this, you definitely have people that look up to you. Um, even if you don't think so, I guarantee you do. Um, what is some advice you would really kind of tell someone, especially geared towards like middle school that are, you know, getting into the sport and maybe they're about to become freshmen? What's kind of some advice that maybe kind of helped you and kind of guided you to where you are now?
yeah, I would say. I mean, it's definitely a lot of like trial and error in general. I definitely used to think there was like secret formula to like training or stuff like that, but it's really just like it's even like years of consistency that leads to like running fast times. It doesn't like cliche. It doesn't come overnight, obviously, but like it can take multiple years to have a breakthrough, and you kind of just have to put your head to the grindstone and just hope for the best. Yeah.
Yeah, no, man, that's no, that's great advice, man. That really is. I think a lot of the time, again, we're always like I mentioned before with like cross country races. Everybody wants to run a fast time, and you kind of you're so focused on the time, and you don't. First off, you don't even enjoy the sport because you're just not
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the moment. And the times come. The times always come as long as you consistency, uh, being there. Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, talking. You definitely got me excited about the team for sure. So you just put a big spotlight on you guys. But no, it's great, man. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm excited to see the team. Um, Excited to see how you run. Obviously, I'll be at Eye Opener, so it's gonna be recorded. It's gonna be for everybody, and excited, man. Super excited. Definitely wish you the best of luck.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.